Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting, amazing, titillating, cock-raising episode of Hollywood After Dark, where, my God, the critics seem to really hate Black Adam. And according to one of the producers of the film, Henry Cavill isn't even really confirmed to come back. We're going to be talking about that and taking a very special look at some Steven Seagal stuff down the road. The stream is going to be on fire. Get ready, folks. Let's do it. Let's rock it. Hollywood After Dark. Let's go. Hey, oops, my bad. I thought I turned that off. We're already off to an amazing start tonight. Holy shit. Hope everyone out there is having themselves a bit of a fantastic day. I know that it's been a wild ride, especially if you've been following any of the movie coverage following Black Adam. It's been kind of the only thing going on in the moment. I know the Creed 3 trailer dropped tonight, but it is what it is. Music Man here asking right off the bat, why are people giving you shit for using Rotten Tomatoes as a comparison or insight into the film? I mean, look, I flat out said that Rotten Tomatoes isn't important, but what we're talking about here is the idea of the general critical response to Black Adam. But we'll get to that here in a couple minutes. But I just want to quickly point out that if you guys haven't already, consider becoming a channel member or joining the Patreon to get access to Hollywood After Dark Premium. It's a great way to keep the channel alive and flowing with where things are right now. Just, just saying. That'd be really good. If you guys want to help out, I ain't going to turn it down. Also, I did drop a new episode of Deep Lore today, talking about a New York man who was exposing corruption and then seemingly died as a result of it. His 10-year struggle with trying to end corruption in a fraud scheme that cost him his home is something that I think everyone should listen to, especially if you're a homeowner. You can check that out, deeplore.tv. And then tonight, before jumping over to Mad Max's stream, I finally decided to do a little bit of work over on Patio Commentary, where I finally reviewed Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Those reviews are all live right now, youtube.com/Patio Commentary. Check them out. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about the Halloween franchise, where it's at, where it's going, and if it stuck the landing. I think we're going to find ourselves having a lot of conversations about this throughout the course of, well, everything, I would argue. So one of the things I want to do an update. This is kind of a weird update, but an update nonetheless, talking about the Bayonetta situation from the other night. We were talking about how you had the voice actress, Helena Taylor, coming to fans and saying, hey, listen, boycott this game, give your money to charity. They were going to screw me over. And this thing got 9.5 million views just on Twitter, blew up all over social media, blew up all on YouTube. But today we're finding out more information that seems to cast a little bit of doubt on just what Helena Taylor was saying and the reality of the situation. Now, this is coming to us from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. I did not realize that I clicked on it without realizing it's behind a paywall. Give me one hot second here to just kind of like, dive into that one. We're just going to do a little bit of 12-foot ladder, right? We're just going to do a little bit of 12-foot ladder here, because quite frankly, that didn't work. They caught on. Let me try another way of getting this article right now. It should pop up on the Wayback Machine. With any luck, we'll be able to get access to it. I have nothing against these outlets making money. I really hate paywalls on a lot of this stuff because it's news that people are interested in. All right. Okay. Maybe this is going to work. Let's find out. I don't quite know. It's kind of going a little bit cray. Let's see. Come on, work, you son of a bitch. It may not work. And that's on my bad for like thinking I had this thing under control. Maybe not. All right. So anyway, 35-foot ladder. Is that one? Is that one there? Don't use ad blocker. Oh, is it what? Turn off ad block. I have it on for pop-ups, in this particular case, and, that's kind of like a big factor there. But let me just go back and double check on this one. All right. We got it, folks. Let us dive on into this article here, courtesy of the Wayback Machine. So saying here, a tense pay dispute overshadows Nintendo's upcoming Bayonetta 3. The former star ignited an industry debate over fair compensation. Saying here that a pay dispute between the creator of the critically acclaimed video game series and its star voice actor reignited a long simmering debate over wages. As it's often the case in these sorts of disagreements, the details surrounding negotiations and casting for the upcoming game Bayonetta 3 are more complicated than has been portrayed publicly. So as I already talked about here, Helena Taylor was upset. She said that she was offered $4,000 to reprise her role, and she wanted to do more. She wanted more. She wanted more compensation because this was the third outing and she wanted the money. And for that, I completely agree with her. I completely agree that she should have gotten more money. However, the story is not necessarily, it's not necessarily holding up. There's a lot going on here with, tensions between voice actors and studios during contract negotiations back in 2016, when the union representing many voice actors, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, orchestrated a strike that lasted nearly a year. One of the sticking points was residuals. And again, I think if you are a talent on this, you should get residuals. Now, in the case of Bayonetta 3, the developer appeared to be determined to rehire Taylor, according to two people familiar with negotiations, as well as documentation reviewed by Bloomberg. Here's what is different. Platinum Games sought to hire Taylor for at least 5 sessions, paying $3,000 to $4,000 for 4 hours in the studio. These people did not want to be identified because they aren't authorized to discuss those negotiations. That would have made the total for the game at least $15,000. In response, they said Taylor asked for a 6-figure sum as well as residuals. Platinum declined, and following lengthy negotiations, took auditions for a new actor. Platinum later offered Taylor a cameo in the game for the fee of 1 session, which she turned down. So she said that she was offered $4,000, and people got mad about that. And in reality, they offered her $15,000, and when she said that wasn't enough and they went somewhere else, they offered her even to come back to do a cameo in the game, and they wanted to give her the $4,000 for that. So I'm wondering if in her initial conversations, in her initial scenario, she actually thought that this was something that people, that's where the $4,000 came from. She's a little nutty. Now, she says that the account is an absolute lie and said that Platinum is trying to save their ass in the game, and that she stands by everything in the video, saying, "I'd like to put this whole bloody franchise behind me, quite frankly, get on with my life in the theater." Representatives for Platinum Games and Nintendo didn't respond for requests. Hideki Kamiya, the executive director of Bayonetta 3, called her allegations sad and deplorable. And, she's done stuff, right? Like she's, here we go. It says here, Taylor's comments resonated wildly, dominating headlines on gaming websites and even gracing digital pages of TMZ. Several of Taylor's peers spoke out after her videos. Brian DeChart, who acted in Cyberpunk 2077 and Red Dead Redemption 2, said that he was offered $4,000 to work on a non-union project for a big budget game. Sean Chiplock, who voiced 3 characters in the blockbuster Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, said he was paid about $3,000 for that job. So again, it's one of those things where it's like, this seems like, it's low, but it doesn't seem that uncommon. Now, Taylor did mention Jennifer Hale, who is very prolific, and she's a voice actor who took over the role. She says here, "I wish her all the joy in the world. I wish her all the jobs. She has no right to say that she is the voice of Bayonetta. I created that voice. She has no right to sign merchandise as Bayonetta." And then Hale faced very, very vicious online harassment as a result. And again, in these situations, there is, again, unwitting, consequences. She responded a little bit ago saying, there are lessons in this. So many lessons. Let's just be good to each other. Let's start there. And sleep. Sleep is nice. So in the case of Bayonetta, in the case of everything that Helena Taylor had put out there, we can pretty easily determine that, she's full of shit. She tried to torpedo a game. She wanted more money. As I said before, this is a scenario where you would absolutely think that she would 100% have done this during the negotiation phase. She would have put this out during the negotiation in order to cause enough of that chaos, enough of that fervor to get people on board to support her claim, and then maybe force Platinum Games to acquiesce to her request. She didn't. She did not do that. So that is her fault. That is her fault. Roman numerals here says, don't hate the hustle. I don't hate the hustle. I really don't hate the hustle. But there's, you have to be able to play the game well. And she didn't. Batman Superman here says, maybe she's pregnant and can't think straight. Dude, shut the fuck up, man. Come on. What the fuck? Come on, dude. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. But anyway, at least that whole situation is relatively behind us now. She kind of got outed and she's like, well, I just want to take my ball and go home. I just want to go back to the theater where no one will question me on anything and no one will ask the important questions about why things have happened the way that they did. But we have questions, folks. We have questions because there was just, again, more breaking news right before going live tonight. And that is that Michelle Rejuan has stepped down as senior VP at Lucasfilm, and she is returning to producing with an overall deal at Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Studios. So it's kind of a golden parachute situation. So this is what Deadline is reporting. Michelle Rejuan is leaving her post as senior VP, live action development and production at Lucasfilm. She is transitioning back to being a full-time producer and has signed an overall deal with Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Studios. She will continue to be based out of the Lucasfilm office and will develop for both Lucasfilm and Disney. She most recently served as an executive producer on Kenobi, Andor, and the upcoming Willow series for Disney+. In her new role, she'll continue to be an executive producer on Andor and Willow, and she is attached as a producer on the upcoming Lucasfilm feature projects, including Star Wars film written and directed by Taika Waititi. So the question is, why does she live now? Well, this next paragraph here kind of tells us a bit more about her history, which would give us a bit of an insight into when she joined the team, and we can look to see what's happened since then. Prior to joining the Lucasfilm executive team in 2019, she was part of the company's wider production family and served as a producer on The Rise of Skywalker and a co-producer on 2015's The Force Awakens. She actually worked for Bad Robot during that time. And then she left during the finishing touches on during the post-production on The Rise of Skywalker and transitioned over to the SVP role over at Lucasfilm. So she's, there for live action development. Obviously, Mando kind of ran through her season 2 at least, and Kenobi and Obi-Wan and things like that. But the question then becomes, why is she leaving now when Andor is on? And that's, getting ready to go in for shooting the next season. Willow drops pretty soon. And we know that Mando season 3 is on the horizon. Well, she's probably got very little to do with Mando season 3. I do think she's in the end credits. But at this particular point, I would argue she most likely is in a space where not much is happening on the live action front outside of what is going on with Mandalorian. I don't know what they're working on in regards to anything other than Andor as being outside of the Mandoverse, if that's what you want to call it. And she won't have anything to do in the production side of that. She might be, listed as given a credit, but for the most part, probably not much. And if the Taika, movie is on hold because nothing is happening in regards to the Lucasfilm live action Star Wars stuff, movie wise, then yeah, she's probably just moving on and taking a bit of the, she's taking the golden parachute and she's moving out. So it's all good. Good for her. We'll be able to get it going. As for Kathleen Kennedy, I don't know what exactly is going on with that. Again, everyone's like, when's Kathy being fired, you guys? When's Kathy being fired? I have no freaking idea. Well, look, they've re-upped her contract and they keep her around because they like her. You may not like her. You may want her gone. You may want her tossed out on her behind. But a lot of people out there really like Kathleen Kennedy. They stand by her. They defend her. And they want to keep seeing what she's working on. I do think, though, that after Indiana Jones 5, after the end of that franchise with Harrison Ford, I do think she'll be moving on. That, if you want my honest take on that, I think she'll be moving on after Indy 5. And that's one of the reasons why maybe certain things haven't moved forward on the film side of it. But it is doing very well on Disney Plus in that sector. The home video, the streaming side of things are really, really, really good for Marvel, or sorry, for Lucasfilm. Now this is here, says, I would probably die laughing if she was fired tomorrow. I think a lot of people would say that too. Although I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. You Do Suck here says, Doomcock wouldn't lie. Doomcock wouldn't lie. And of course, people out there are kind of attacking Andor for some fucking reason. Like, oh, it's slower. It's more mature. It's a slower build to get to that particular point. It's a slower build up for that character. It's gonna ramp up into where it needs to be. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. People out there are just they can't handle character development. I find that to be really funny. Lord of the Rings of Power had very similar design. I fucking loved it. So there's that. Have I heard the John Campea rant about Star Wars needing to be a movie franchise? I haven't. I don't watch Campea unless I absolutely have to. I know he hired somebody new today. Okay. How long is she going to last? That's the question, really. But here's another question. How would you feel if you found out that, a guy you probably idolize pretty well literally wants nothing to do with you? This is great. So this was trending on Twitter today. You had Alan Moore trending because according to Damon Lindelof, he sent a letter to Alan Moore about Watchmen. And, well, Moore came back with, I don't want anything to do with you or your show. And look, we famously know, or I should say Alan Moore is famous for just being this gigantic salty cracker. He's just a salty cracker. That's all he is. Guy's nothing but pure salt. 100% sodium, like lethal amounts of sodium. Sending anything to him in regards to anything he's worked on that he did not have a hand in, you're going to get the same result. You're going to get the same response. It's literally the definition of insanity. Now, it says here, at TCA in 2019, showrunner Damon Lindelof fielded a lot of questions about the Watchmen series. Specifically, he was asked about how the small screen project may or may not connect to the classic comic series of the same name. He says, we're not going to mess with it. It's canon. However, Lindelof did admit his relationship with the comic's notoriously prickly and private co-creator was predictably rocky. He did not elaborate at length about his interactions with Moore, who long ago announced his intention to have nothing to do with adaptations of his work. In keeping with that, Moore was not mentioned in any of HBO's press materials for the series, with only David Gibbons noted as co-creator. But in an interview today, Moore described his interactions with Lindelof. Per the Watchmen co-creator, Lindelof sent him a self-depreciating letter that attempted to recognize Moore's gripes while establishing a connection, saying, "Dear Mr. Moore, I'm one of the bastards currently destroying Watchmen." Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. Now, but Moore here, again, being the salty cracker that he is, says that wasn't the best opener. It went on through a lot of what seemed to be neurotic rambling. Can you at least tell us how to pronounce Ozymandias? I got back with a very abrupt and probably hostile reply telling him what I thought. I thought that Warner Brothers were aware that they nor any of their employees should contact me again for any reason. I mean, look, he probably was onto something ahead of time with that. You know, he was probably very much onto something with that one in regards to Warner Brothers and their employees. But Watchmen was an amazing show. It was fantastic. Moore continued, I explained that I had disowned the work in question, and partly that was because the film industry and the comics industry seemed to have created things that had nothing to do with my work, but which would be associated with it in the public mind. I said, look, this is embarrassing to me. I don't want anything to do with you or your show. Please don't bother me again. And then unsurprisingly, Moore has never seen Watchmen or any Hollywood project based on his content. Saying here, I would be the last person to want to sit through any adaptations of my work. From what I've heard of them, it would be enormously punishing. It would be torturous and for no very good reason. And you know what? He's probably really right on that. Like, he's probably really right. If you created a show the way that you want, like, you know, if you created a comic book, if you created a story, you created characters, a world, and you have it a very certain, you know, in a very certain medium, and you don't want to see it produced in another medium because it's going to delineate what your original intent was, then yeah, you can understand why he would be upset. You can understand why he wouldn't want to do it. You can get it. You can absolutely get it. You can totally understand why that would happen. And on that front, I actually really do feel for Alan Moore. You know what I mean? I feel for Alan Moore. I know maybe I shouldn't, perhaps. I don't quite know. You know, I know he's a bit of an old salty cracker, but I get it, man. I get it. I love the adaptations of his work. I do. I really do. I love Zack Snyder's Watchmen. I love, you know, V for Vendetta, right? I just, you know, I love the Watchmen TV show. I think they're great. But that is something that you definitely aren't going to want to maybe fill your head with. And I completely understand. And I think anybody out there would understand that. Because, you know, when you adapt something, it is something that, like, you know, it is kind of like, I think as Stephen King would say, it's you killing your babies, essentially. And that's something that a lot of authors don't want to do. Kenneth here for $2, man. Thank you so much. It says, hey, Matt, just got in. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. A little taken aback by the next subject I want to cover, because we're coming into a weird territory when talking about Black Adam. And I know that I was a little, I'm a little bit of a, you know, joke on the thumbnail tonight. But I do feel that when we talk about what's going on with Black Adam, we have to kind of really look at where things currently are. Now, according to Rotten Tomatoes, which the reviews for the movie just went live today, the movie comes out in 2 days, and it is now sitting at a 54% based upon 61 reviews. It has the opportunity to go up or go down. I could see it when more critics start to watch the movie and they start to put out their reviews and it gets into the 250 plus range. I could see it creeping upwards to 60, just edging in to the fresh rating, or it could drop back down to the original 47% that was first reported when it only had 47 reviews. But let's take a look here at just the snippets of what these reviewers are wanting to say. Now, once again, I should point out, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't fundamentally matter. I have my tickets to watch this movie. You might have your tickets to watch this movie. It fundamentally doesn't change anything. But I do think that when it comes to the discourse surrounding the movie, I really think that is something worth looking into, or worth talking about here. So Jordan Hoffman here from AV Club gave it a rotten review. Says there's really not much to stew on with Black Adam once you've left the theater, except to be somewhat amazed at how the story comments, but doesn't comment on the political situation in the Middle East. Well, here's the thing with that is I think we all can agree that it might have a bit of a commentary to make on that, but at the same time, it's not, it's not there to be political. It's not going to sit there and push any buttons. It wants to make money. You've got Tim Grierson here from Screen International giving it a positive review, saying that the latest installment in the DC Extended Universe too often succumbs to the conventions of its genre, but some compelling performances in director Jamie Colette Serra's ebullient B-movie flourishes prove to be a sufficient compensation. My God. Dude, layman's terms. Fuck, I hate that shit. I do. Like, I'm not saying you have to just like always dumb it down monosyllabically, all right? But you can sit there and like go, yes, director Jamie Colette Serra's ebullient B-movie flourishes prove to be sufficient compensation. Like, oh, okay. You get that fucking silver spoon cranked down your pee hole? Jesus Christ, man. Come on. It's a fucking superhero movie. You're not writing a dissertation at fucking Oxford. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, moving on here. You've got Eric Francisco from Inverse giving it rotten. Says, ultimately, the needs of the DC universe butt up against the overwhelming star power of Dwayne Johnson, and the film ends up losing many of the entertaining qualities it might have had. I really feel like the overwhelming star power is something that's going to be called into question after this weekend. Jesse Hassinger from Houston Chronicle says, Johnson's career has become so meticulously engineered and marketed that even his brooding, murderous DC antihero can only cause Teflon mayhem. And that's actually a really interesting point, that his entire identity has been meticulously engineered and marketed. And it's very similar. People love that. They love the heel aspect of when he was The Rock in the WWE. And I think they want him to go back to being that. And I think in this, he might kind of be embracing that again. But at the end of the day, he's still the boss in charge. And that is something that people need to, that's going to have to be contended with in regards to like ego and even expectations. Mark Kennedy from the Associated Press here, rotten review, says the director and the design team do a great job in every department, but are let down by a derivative and baggy screenplay that goes from one violent scene to another like a video game. Well, I would say to that, Mark Kennedy, that they probably know who the fuck their audience is, right? That they probably know just who their audience is and who it is that they're trying to market to. The only thing this movie is missing is giant tittied super heroines and very tight skin clothing. You know what I mean? Now, Alonzo Duralde from The Wrap here says, the idea of introducing new heroes of powers first to origin later seems appealing on paper, but knowing nothing about the Justice Society and its members doesn't make them particularly interesting adversaries for our anti-hero protagonists. And again, this movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes long, and it's got to bring in the Justice Society and give them all individual fucking arcs. That is very difficult to do, especially when you're going up against the ego of Dwayne Johnson. It's very interesting, but not everybody out there criticized it. James Mottram from the South China Morning Post says, Black Adam sets his characters up well enough, but rarely pauses for breath. Okay. Joey Magison from Awards Radar here says, Black Adam has Dwayne Johnson, but not enough else to warrant recommendation. And even then, that may not be much. Rotten review. But the last four here are actually really good. The only one I care about here is Scott Mendelson. He hates everything. He says here, gives it a fresh review, 6 out of 10. Dwayne Johnson's gleefully violent and unapologetically silly IMAX-friendly superhero smash-up doesn't need Superman to change the hierarchy of power in the DC Films universe. Oh my God. Oh my God, man. I'm kind of curious though. There is, I know Jeffrey Harris. What did he say here? DC's Black Adam is lacking. And I've met Jeffrey. I know Jeffrey. DC's Black Adam is lacking. The Rock leans too hard into stoicism for his performance. So much so that Black Adam never truly comes as into his own as a character. I mean, not yet, right? Not yet on that one, I don't think. There's a lot of people that are going to They got to get to it, right? They got to get to that there. John Nguyen, Nerd Reactor. I know John too. Says, if you've seen Batman v Superman and if you've seen Godzilla versus Kong, this movie kind of follows that same format. Oof. I'm trying to find Grace Randolph here because I know Grace reviewed it. I think she might have posted it. Oh, wow. Mama's Geeky liked it. That doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me in the slightest. Kristen Acuna, who is big Zack Snyder fan. She is a huge Snyder Cut supporter. And she says here, Rotten Review, performance is one of the film's few highlights, this being Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, other than a shocking mid-credits reveal. We already know. Folks, we already know that there's that their mid-credit reveal. We already know what it is. All right, so maybe Grace didn't review that one yet. But I am kind of curious about this real quick, right? Talking about, I want to talk about The Rock here for a second, right? But by the way, we got 101 people watching. Be sure to smack the like, guys. I really appreciate that. One of the things I've talked about, and I think I can kind of back my point a little bit though, is that I like Godzilla v Kong too, but it's not the deepest movie in the well sort of thing, right? It's not the deepest movie out there. In fact, that was actually one of my complaints about it, is I would love it if they would release the original cut that had a lot more story, because the human element of those movies, yeah, sure, not the focal point, not the selling point, but I still like a good human level story. And I'd like to see more on that front. But real quick here. So when I talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I say that the man is not a movie star, he's an entertainer. He's one of the biggest ones in the world, but he's not a movie star. People out there like to give me shit. Well, I get it. So I take a look here. All right. Like, we can take a look here. What is Johnson's highest rated and his lowest rated Rotten Tomato score? I don't know what Stuntman is. Let me quickly see what this is. Oh, it's a documentary. Is this the one about Evel Knievel? Oh no, it's about Eddie Braun. Okay. So I think he's got a cameo appearance in it or something, or he worked on it in some way or another. And then that's how he ended up getting that. But coming down here and looking to see, all right, Black Adam is now up to 55%. It did jump up 1% since we started. So that's good. All right. So he is the main character, and you could argue it's an ensemble, but they're very heavily marketing it as his movie. DC League of Super Pets, where, it's him and Kevin Hart and other people, that one's higher. Red Notice, where he is the main character, 36%. I don't buy that 92% bullshit, by the way. It ain't that good. But then coming through here, okay, looking at, Jungle Cruise, that had Emily Blunt in it as well. That barely creeped above 63. Same director. So I'm wondering if it's going to be roughly around 63% for that one. Jumanji, 71%. Fast and Furious, 68%. Fighting with My Family, he was in it for briefly, but he's a producer. And then if you look here at Skyscraper, where he was the lead character, 48%. Rampage, lead character, 51%. Right? Baywatch, main character, 17%. San Andreas, main character, 48%. Right? Central Intelligence, it was him and Kevin Hart. I would argue Kevin Hart was the lead of that movie, and he was a secondary character. He was the second co-lead. Hercules, another vehicle of his, 58%. G.I. Joe Retaliation, he was the main character in that movie. His lead, 28%. Snitch, main character, 57%. Faster, main character, 42%. Tooth Fairy, main character, 17%. Race to Witch Mountain, he was, one of the leads. It could have been more. Again, 42. Looking at this here, just stuff. Game Plan, main character, 29%. Gridiron Gang, main character. Oh no, the Game Plan was. I just want to make sure this one is him. Yeah, that's him. 29%. Doom, he was secondary character, right? Second lead. I like Doom though. Walking Tall, main character, 26%. The Scorpion King, main character, 41%. But the Rundown was, that was the biggest Rotten Tomato score for him on a movie where he was the main lead. And this movie was literally 19 years ago. It was his first starring role. The reason why I bring that up right? The reason why I bring this up is, again, not to bash The Rock, but when we talk about the fact that over the course of his career, he has not been able to really bolster a franchise that he is the key ingredient of. He is very much like garnish on a dish, right? He's there to accentuate it. He is there to make it look better. He is there to kind of add some, I don't want to say flavor, but add some style. And that's what he's best at. The problem with someone like Dwayne Johnson is that he believes, in essence, that he is greater than the sum of his own parts. And that is true. But to be fair, his agent is very aggressive. They produce very well, and that is very aggressive. And that's allowed him to demand $20 million a picture. So that's what I'm talking about. That's all. That's what I've been saying forever. And I was waiting to see if Black Adam would be able to break that trend. So far, it hasn't. So far, it has not done that. Now, you guys might like the movies that he's been in, and I like the movies that he's been in. I like Doom. I think Doom is ridiculously stupid, but it's fun. I really enjoy a lot of what he's done. But again, it's like looking at how much money these movies has made, looking at their critical score, it really, again, starts to make you like ask yourself, is he an overinflated asset? Like if you were to run him through like the SEC and they were to run like a risk assessment of Dwayne Johnson, would they look at him and just go, man, you should not be charging this much money. You do not have the pull to get that. But he somehow is able to do it. So good for him. He's able to work the game. But Thomas here says that Black Adam is a gateway of Superman on the big screen, which is true. It's absolutely true. But in order for that to happen, it absolutely needs to make fucking money. It needs to make fucking money. It needs to make a lot of money to back up the cost of it, because it's an expensive movie and it's got to pull it in. So according to Deadline here, it is now tracking for a $135 million opening weekend worldwide. And that's good, actually. That's really good. That is really good. And I hope it gets it. All right. So it says here, finally, after a very long drought at the box office, a fire-breathing theatrical windowed tentpole arrives in Black Adam, but will it deliver? Knock on wood, everyone hopes so for this DC movie that was shot for less than $200 million, which means that worldwide it's got to bring in at least $600 million. At least $600 million to somewhat even break even. And that's like, more than that with the marketing. And to be fair, The Rock has handled the marketing practically. He's carried it on his back the entire time. So the movie arrived hot on domestic tracking this month with 65 to 70 million projection. However, that forecast has calmed to 60 million, especially with reviews currently at 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. Therein lies Black Adam's kryptonite. Hopefully, these numbers don't go any lower. A start in the US, Canada at 60 million is the upper echelon of Johnson's non-Fast and Furious domestic openings. If the film overperforms, it will be because there hasn't been much out there for fanboys since Sony's Bullet Train during the first week of August, which debuted at 30 million and crossed only 103 million stateside. Yes, there was Universal Blumhouse Miramax's Halloween Ends last weekend, which started at 40 million under its $55 million projections due to the simultaneous release on Peacock. And of course, there's also the how people like the movie or not. Expect that sequel to have a steep fall in the 70% range. Previews for Black Adam, which will all have premium formats, including IMAX, start 3 p.m. on Thursday. That's where I have my tickets for. I have 3 p.m. on Thursdays when I have my tickets. So who listens to critics still? Well, apparently people still do. They may not listen to them, but that number of the Rotten Tomato score, like that number will absolutely be something that some people are out there are looking at. Will it matter overall? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it. Again, it's kind of like, oof. That's how I'm just saying. I'm saying, oof. You would like for it to do better, but, that's still like, ain't the greatest. Rational here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says, hey, Matt, honest question. Why are critics shitting on Black Adam? Don't they know if Black Adam fails, we won't get more James Gunn Suicide Squad projects? That's actually not true at all. That's not true at all. Peacemaker has proven to be such a success for HBO Max and for James Gunn that they're going to continue working with him as a result of Peacemaker. Adding in Waller and adding in Amelia Harcourt in this movie is definitely going to be is tying into it. It's brand synergy, but it will have no bearing on whether or not we get more James Gunn stuff. That's already set in stone in its own way. That's just how it is. Yeah. James Gunn is locked. He ain't going nowhere. That's right. Now, Batman Superman here says, people do listen to critics. If Batman v Superman had a fresh score, it would have gotten 1 billion, but Rotten Tomatoes score kept it at 870. No, it wasn't the Rotten Tomatoes score that did it, man. It was the very steep drop off in week 2 after people were just like, hey, there's something very wrong with this movie. Very wrong with this movie for the theatrical cut. That's why. Now, Rational here says DCEU hinges on Black Adam. If it fails, the DC gets rebooted. Yes. The DC, if it fails, this side of things is done. I think so. I really do think so. I think Black Adam's done. I think that Superman won't be coming back. They'll round out Aquaman 2, hope for maybe Aquaman 3. They'll do Wonder Woman 3. They'll be done with Gal as Wonder Woman. Affleck won't ever come back outside of, Flash or whatever. And then from there, they'll just focus on Matt Reeves. And maybe another Joker movie, because that's going to pull in some serious coin. So this is where we find ourselves on this front right now is Dwayne is really, really trying to make this thing work. But they do think that it will hit 125 to 135 million worldwide. Saying here, Black Adam begins to strike abroad Wednesday, notably in France and Korea, and by Friday it will be in 76 international markets, including Germany, Australia, Mexico, Brazil, and the UK. Japan will join the fold December 2nd, and currently there is no China date. Now, China likes The Rock, and we'll have to wait and see how it does over there. But that not having China involved right now is going to hurt. So it says here, that international opening is in the range of such comps as 2019 Shazam and last year's Venom Let There Be Carnage. Those titles respectively did 57 million and 77 million in like-for-like openings, but at today's rate, recall that dollar is at an extreme high and having about a 15% impact on recoups from offshore turns out. I don't even know what the fuck any of that shit means. So anyway, I don't know what that specifically means. But I think, they kind of needed to do well. H-Bart's here just says it. Yeah, go see Black Adam. If you want more Superman, I'm not even going to beat around the bush here. It's not even if you want more DCEU. It's not even if you want more of Ben Affleck's Batman. It doesn't even matter, whatever, dude. Right now, what hinges on everything is Black Adam doing very well. And Black Adam showing that there is a massive, massive, massive demand for Henry Cavill's Superman. And we know that he's in it. We know that he's there. We know all these things. That's going to happen. All right. But here's something that popped up today in an interview in Cinema Blend, which is really going to make people sit back and go, oh, shit. So Black Adam producer talks Henry Cavill Superman future, saying we're fighting for it. Says they're not planning one movie. They have a long-term plan, which we can only hope is accurate and that they hope that they get to. So, it says here, the following will contain some DC spoilers. All right. It says, what the hell's going on over at DC? The comic book label seemed to suffer from an uncertainty that many fans chalked up to a lack of leadership. Projects like Batgirl were axed, Word about Ben Affleck returning to Batman's cape and cowl for either The Flash or Aquaman, or both, led to confusion over Robert Pattinson's Batman. How do they coexist? Is there a multiverse? And why can't the studio figure out how to utilize Henry Cavill as Superman? The actor has been mistreated by DC and Warner Brothers following BVS, botching everything about his initial Justice League appearance and basically leaving him in limbo in regards to Man of Steel 2. This is true. The studio absolutely they dicked him around. 100% they dicked him around. And that sucks. That's really unfortunate because, Henry seems like a really good guy. But now we're hearing plans of an actual movement on Superman's return to the DC universe. In a lengthy article about a turning point for DC, The Hollywood Reporter states that Warner Brothers has an intense desire to bring Henry Cavill and his Man of Steel back into the fold. They suggest that a movie is out to potential writers and that Mission Impossible mastermind Christopher McQuarrie is in the mix. So they're suggesting, right? And Sean O'Connell wrote this, and there are people who are involved in the Snyder fandom that are not going to acknowledge Sean O'Connell in any conceivable fashion. They're just going to like shit on this guy, but he's not wrong here. The article in THR did talk about an intense desire to bring Cavill back and that Charles Roven is looking to find a writer and director. That doesn't mean confirmed. I really feel like we have to at least acknowledge that for right now, not everything is set in stone. If it was set in stone, they would say it because that would showcase the brand synergy and that would showcase that there is strength in Henry Cavill as Superman and that they are very adamant in wanting to bring him back. They may not announce like the overall deal of what it is, but giving us like an idea that it's on the table is definitely something that could happen. But this is where things are going to get a little bit crazy. So a little bit ago, Dwayne Johnson did say that the whole point of doing Black Adam was to do a Batman versus Black Adam movie. And he says, absolutely, that's the whole point. Now, he did try to like walk that back a little bit. He tried to like downscale that a little bit because he doesn't want to undercut his own movie. He doesn't want to undercut his own character. Why would you come in and just go, yeah, man, the whole point of me doing this, me pining after this for as long as I was, me putting up everything we had to put up in order to get this thing made, me carrying the movie's marketing on my back for months, all of this stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm only doing it so eventually like Superman can fucking beat me with his dick. Like, at no point would he ever actually do that. But yeah, he's gonna hype it up. He's gonna hype it up. He's gonna make it a thing. He's gonna make it. That's his whole goal. So anyway, so they said here. So we followed up on that point when we had the opportunity to discuss Black Adam with producer Hiram Garcia, a driving force behind Seven Bucks Productions. Specifically, we pushed Garcia on the potential encounter between Dwayne Johnson's antihero and the beacon of light that is Superman, and asked directly if Henry Cavill had officially signed on for more movies. And this is what Garcia says. I'm not sure what's going on in that regard. He wanted to come back. We wanted him to come back. And we wanted to make sure that that we were able to establish that his character exists in the same universe as Black Adam. We have larger ambitions for things we'd like to do. However, all of these items are still in the works. So I am unable to provide exact updates, but just know that we are fighting for this. So right then and there, that tells you that then and there absolutely positively tells you Cavill is not 100% confirmed to come back. Do I think that he is going to come back? Yes. Do I think that they're going to find a way to make it work? Absolutely. But in this moment right now, a lot of people are saying, oh no, he's 100% confirmed, 100% confirmed, 100% confirmed. And that's simply not the case. That is simply not what's going on, because Warner Brothers is in a space right now where they do not have central leadership. It might be Mike DeLuca. It might absolutely be. It probably will be Mike DeLuca. But for right now, we do not have that information. And they are using Superman, this cameo, this 5-second cameo, as a way to market this movie. And I would argue as the key way to market this film. One thing I pointed out before in the article we looked at kind of talked about that too, where, it's like talked about how the initial box office tracking for Black Adam was, 75 million, 65 to 70 million. And then after the premiere, after the confirmation that Henry Cavill was in the movie, it dropped. It dropped $10 million. Now explain that to me. Explain that to me, right? Explain that to me, where everyone I talk to tells me, oh my God, Matt, they're holding on for dear life for Henry Cavill. They want Henry Cavill. Everybody wants Henry Cavill. Cavill is Superman. They need him back. If he comes back, the movie's going to gross $1 billion. Matt, you have no idea what you're saying when you say that he's too old to play the role. He's absolutely, positively got to come back. He's going to make this thing work. It's going to be the biggest thing ever. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And yet, when that information became public knowledge, it didn't increase the number. It didn't move the needle. It actually lessened the needle, which I find to be really fascinating. Now, my theory on that has a lot to do with the fact that I think people out there are just they want confirmation. Him popping up as this cameo and proving that he's in the same universe has a very interesting little take on that. So if you go back to 2018, when they were shooting Shazam, they wanted Henry Cavill to cameo as Superman in the movie. He had one more appearance left on his contract. He did not want to waste it on Shazam. And Warner Brothers did not want to renegotiate the contract and extend it or whatever. So it ended up not happening. And then they left him in limbo for the last 4 fucking years. There was the announcement in September of 2018 that Henry Cavill was out of the role. This was after the Shazam situation. And they left him in the lurch for years. And then all of a sudden now it's he comes back and he does his 5-second cameo. The Occam's razor says that this was the last appearance on his contract. So it's well, what does that mean? Well, we don't know. And obviously they're not going to tell us, but it is something worth discussing. It is something worth wondering about. Because I think if you want to use him as your central marketing, if you want to use him as your central marketing, then of course it's going to be, interesting to say. Ralph's Double Tits here says, just say you no longer claim the yellow, just pissing if you. No, man. Here's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I like I said, I believe he's back, but I'm saying it's we have to they're either trying to mitigate it, or they're trying to make sure that that they can downplay it if it fails. All right. Jay Ray here says Black Adam is tracking for 135. What is he talking about? It's 135 worldwide. You have to look at the domestic tracking. The domestic tracking is only at 60. And the domestic tracking dropped after the Henry Cavill reveal. They care more about the domestic than the international. Look it up, man. That's how it works out. Again, J. Ray, listen to what I'm saying. 135 is worldwide, not domestic. Not domestic. Anyway, Gangsta Jedi here says DC is starting to get it together. It's not going to happen overnight. It'll take a few good movies. Critics can be divided as long as it makes money. That's the thing. We got to hope that it makes money. I got my ticket, man. I'm telling you. I'm flat out saying it. I normally don't say this shit. I'm flat out saying that if you want Henry Cavill to come back, if you want that to continue, you got to go watch Black Adam this weekend. You got to go watch Black Adam this weekend, and you should go probably watch it at a prime time showing. Pay the premium amount of money. See it in IMAX if you can, if you got the cash. That's how you show up. That's how you do it. That's how you bring it up. But otherwise, it's crazy. Now Batman Superman here actually asks a question. I've got my ticket, but am I excited? The answer is yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. For one, I've seen the cameo, right? I've seen the cameo, but I want to see it on the big screen, unobstructed by people, by all that stuff, right? I am looking forward to the action scenes that I haven't already seen because the marketing is just showcased a shitload of them. Pierce Brosnan, obviously. Aldous Hodge, obviously. I want to see how they build it up. I definitely want to go check it out. I'm excited to watch it. Well, I'm hoping that it's good. That's all I personally am caring about. Rational here says, I'm using my promo code to get the ticket for $4. hyped for this film. I don't know, man. You should probably go for the full price. Now, Fourth here says, I'm waiting for HBO Max. The movie just looks dismal. Right? And that's another thing, too. HBO Max will be 45-day window. So, let's see. Funny how you've never mentioned the Eternals box office and then the Batman. Well, why the fuck would I mention Eternals box office? I didn't go see it. The movie did okay. But like, it's not one that I think people are clamoring for more from. The Batman did $770 million, which is pretty decent. And I talk more about DC and the box office shit. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So let's see. Gangster Jedi here says the old DC regime talks reboots if critics are divided. This regime will push on getting better each time. I don't know, man. It's all about money, dude. If they don't got the money, then they're not going to be able to invest it in the way that they want. There's that. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, Batman. I don't know if you gotta like tag people. So I know, I can't tell. Rational here says, what if Black Adam does Venom 2018 numbers? If Black Adam can pull in like 90 mil, then fuck yeah, dude. Like, then that's a big fucking deal. All right. Like, that's a big deal. They can pull in 90 million, then we're golden. Everything is golden, 100%. They'll be happy. They'll greenlight Black Adam 2. We'll hear about Man of Steel, all that shit. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's if they're able to pull it off. I don't know. Now, the Rain here says, the thing on Marvel is Kevin Feige has a red thread. Therefore, the MCU works so well as a universe project. Also, if some directors are not happy in Marvel, at least it's not a mess of an order. Yeah, they don't mess things up if they're not happy with it. Feige's able to kind of rein it in. Some things have problems, right? Like Avengers, Age of Ultron had problems. Thor, The Dark World had problems. You know, Captain Marvel had problems. It was kind of boring. So we'll have to wait and see. Benson here says, none of the screens in my area are selling out for Roy to Adam. Yeah, a lot of people. Again, that's been my area as well, man. We were talking about that earlier today. Night Captain here says, I mean, Venom got terrible reviews and got mad money. You're not wrong. Venom actually did the vast majority of its box office in China. Did very well over there. But it did have a very solid opening weekend. And I think there was actually a lot of curiosity about the character of Venom. And it also has a lot to do with its association, or Venom's association with Spider-Man. Venom 2 was tracking at 40 million. The post-credit scene for Venom 2 got out there. We heard about the Spider-Man connection, and then it doubled in its estimates, or it doubled in its earnings. So having the Superman cameo, which I said if they do that, they're going to heavily tie into the marketing. What sucks for them, and this is what might hurt them, is that in regards to having Superman, that cameo leaked out from the premiere. You know, so and that might have actually hurt them, because once you see it, you know, why buy the cow when you get the sex for free? Which is an old Mallrats quote, if you guys know what I'm saying there. Why, you know, there are people out there who I've talked to that I'm like, oh, I've seen the cameo, and I'm like, okay, I can wait now. I've already seen it. I know that he's there. So they don't have any interest in going to see the movie. They had an interest because of the cameo. Now they don't. So it's something worth considering in regards to that. Let's see. Hold on. World Class Bullshitters was saying yesterday that they like Justice League better. Wow. I don't know. That's terrible. Let's see. Venom 2018 apparently had a Tom Holland cameo. Will that ever get leaked? I don't know. Maybe. I've heard rumors about the Tom Holland cameo, but I have no fucking idea. No fucking idea. HRS here says movie premiere should be the day before the release, not a few weeks before. I mean, I understand that they want to build up the hype, and that's why they show it early, to get the word of mouth going. They should have not had Superman in that particular screening. They should have cut that particular scene and then had it just drop when the movie dropped. And when that happened, people would lose their mind. I think that would have driven up more hype. But I think they thought, we're going to run this like Venom. It worked a year ago. Let's see what happens with it. But here's my question, though. And maybe I'm wrong and I just don't remember this right now. but has there been any movement on Venom 3 in the last year? The movie did not do as well as the original, but they at least greenlit it. And I think it made enough money to warrant a third movie. So have they done anything with Venom in the last year? I, honest to God, have not looked. So if somebody knows, please tell me. I'm very curious about that. I really want to know about that. But for where we know right now is the movie is tracking for 135 worldwide. May do more, may do less. We do not know. But at the same time, we're going to most definitely have to wait and see what is going on. And you know what? We'll find out more this weekend. Music Man here says, nope, and there shouldn't be a Venom 3 either. I mean, yeah. They need to like really have a producer come on in and like really tackle Venom. I don't know what they were doing with Venom 2. Not that Venom 2 was bad. Venom 2 needed to be longer. Venom 2 needed more story. Venom 2 absolutely needed to have like an extra 20 minutes of just character development. That's one of my biggest complaints with these kind of movies is that it's like they don't care about the character. They just want the fucking spectacle. And I'm just so bored of that shit. What if Black Adam does Aquaman numbers? And good for Black Adam. Really, honest to God, good for Black Adam if they do Black Adam numbers. Or if they do Aquaman numbers, 100%. So, all right here. Crime Corky says, global box office for Black Adam, 135. Yep, I know, man. We were talking about that. Again, that's not domestic. We're talking about domestic. Domestic matters more than international. I'm sorry. Nerdy Mastermind here says, I love Venom 2. And Nate here says, release the Venom 2 more fun extended cut. Dude, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I wonder if there's going to be, I didn't see the Spider-Man No Way Home more fun edition. I wonder if there's anything in there with Venom. You do suck here says, what if Black Adam does Avatar numbers? Man, listen. All right. There is, you know, speculation, there's hope, and then there's just being delusional. And right now you are the latter, sir. Mr. Fahrenheit says only China can save Black Adam, to be honest. And there's no Chinese release date yet. Apparently I think they've been marketing the movie over there. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it got through Chinese censors, but they haven't selected a date yet. So that will be very interesting to see how that plays out when they finally do. And I don't know. I do not know what they'll be doing with that. H-Bart's here says, I wouldn't be surprised if China released Black Adam because Sabak looks like a devil. Yeah, definitely, man. So there's that one there. Spherical Man here says Avatar won't even do Avatar numbers. I mean, no. But it could also blow everybody out of the fucking water, man. I don't quite know. Now, J Ray here says Aquaman made $1 billion. The film earned around 245 in the US, but a whopping 853 overseas. Yeah, it did. It was saved by China, dude. China really, really, really liked Aquaman, and they're gonna clearly make this movie for that. But China has also started cracking down on Western films. They've shrunk the amount of Western films being allowed in the country. I think it went from like 30 per year to like 16, if not less than that. China is going really, really, really nationalist. So that is something that people need to remember. Now, Prodos, why can't Black Adam do Aquaman numbers? Because Aquaman was fucking fun. So far, what I'm hearing out of Black Adam is that it's not fucking fun. And it's entertaining, but it's not like a swashbuckling adventure. Aquaman was like a swashbuckling adventure. You like Jason Momoa. He's very charismatic. The Rock is kind of playing stoic. I'm the Man in Black sort of thing. So it's something there that may not resonate as well. I don't know though. I mean, again, the movie's not out yet. So we're going to have to wait and see. On this one. Batman Superman here says DC films like the Batman and Joker are not for kids. Yep. H. Bars here says, slowly with this nationalistic view of China, they will kill the regime they are trying to maintain. I don't know what you're fucking talking about there, buddy. Like, I don't know what you're saying there. I don't quite know. Everyone knows Aquaman, says Casper. Yeah, I mean, people do know Aquaman, but at the same time, it's not like he's not as popular as like Batman or Superman, but he is more known. He is more known, 100% better, well known than Black Adam as a character, and that is just like that's just fucking true, man. That's just true. Any way you want to slice it, that is just accurate as fuck, man. So on that note, we've definitely, I think, come to the end of this part of the conversation. Because look, we want the movie to do well. I'm taking a realistic approach with the idea here in regards to how things could play out. Don't know. Gonna wait and see. Still gonna go see the movie. And I'm telling you guys, if you want more, go see it. If not, then don't. But that's the options. That's where we are at right now. And I think there's a lot of people that might be trying to maybe, like look at that deadline of 135 million and go like, man, that's great. Meh. Like, meh. I don't know. I'm hoping, but we'll have to wait and see here. Let's see here. H Bar says, by trying to remain isolated and don't trust others, suppressing information and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, I get you, man. I get you. I don't know. Let's see here. Crime Corgi says MCU Phase 4 messed up not being in China market. They've kind of proven that like they don't need China. Spider-Man No Way Home didn't go to China, grossed nearly $2 billion. Like China can help out quite a bit, but it's not the be all end all. So Nerdy Mastermind here says, I'm excited for Black Adam despite reviews. It's clearly in order a large bucket of popcorn. Oh yeah. You get your favorite candy and soda and enjoy 2 hours of action. Oh yeah, no, I'll be getting a large popcorn. Absolutely. Spherical Man asking, when are you planning on doing a Black Adam spoiler stream? I'm hoping to go see it Sunday afternoon. I'll probably do it I could do it like Sunday night or something. Give people a chance to go check it out. I'll do a review of it when I see it. That will probably have I'll try to keep the spoilers more mild, but I'll let people know what I think. I'll put out like a video and add a theater reaction on this channel, and then I'll have Podio commentary. We'll have my review. So that will be, I think, worth checking out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I know there's I want to see Waller and Harcourt. I want to get my Peacemaker on, so I'm excited for that. I think I'm more excited for that than I am Superman cameo. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Secret cameo Shazam. No, according to Grace Randolph, Shazam is not in the movie at all. Always a negative Nancy. Didn't I? Fuck you. I just said go see the movie. Go see. I'm literally telling you to go see the movie. Fuck off, eat shit. Hollywood doesn't need China. They need to forget China. Hollywood definitely needs international audiences, but they also need to stop. They need to start really reining in these budgets because they set unrealistic expectations. And Martin Scorsese was right about that too, talking about how the focusing on the budget or on the box office is kind of ruining the fun of movies. And, we're talking about it tonight, but yeah, it is kind of doing that. Bella Reeve here says, it's better than nothing. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I'm sure you are. Now here's my question, Belle. Are you seeing it at the Cinemark or the Regal? And which format? That's my question. So where you going? Where you going, Belle? Crime Corgi here says they need China. The MCU Phase 4 didn't have Taiwan flags or Japan. The MCU Phase 4 also was a resetting phase during a pandemic. So it's been different. However, they did not put it at, what is it? Which one am I thinking of? Oh yeah. Eternals didn't go to China because of Chloe Zhao. So, and they still stand by her. And there's rumors that they want to bring her back for Eternals too. So if they stand by Chloe Zhao and they want to build up Chloe Zhao, then that's just what they're going to fucking do. That's just what they're going to do at all. Oh, you're going to the AMC? Where the fuck is there an AMC near here? Oh, you're probably going up. You're wasting all that gas to go to an AMC. That's crazy, dog. I mean, but then again, it is definitely better than the Regal. I'll tell you that. Rational here says, don't you know The Rock is a box office magnet? 170 mil opening domestic weekend confirmed. There you go. There you go, folks. Rational with the Rational with the hot take. Although JP here says Chloe Zhao is based. Oh, you're going to Lakewood? Oh, okay. That's not so bad. Still though, I mean, I'm going to Cinemark because it's like, fuck it. You know. You have to let me know how it is though in Lakewood. How far is my closest real IMAX? I mean, fucking, what is real IMAX these days? I don't know. I'm sure there's one in Seattle somewhere. So I'd be like 60 to 70 miles away. You know, I saw Avatar in IMAX recently, and I'm just like, that's the theater near me that has the IMAX is not the greatest. You know, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Avatar 2 in IMAX. My dad's going to buy tickets for that. So that's cool. Looking forward. AMC is good. I like AMC. I like AMC theaters. I go to Cinemark because I hate Regal. No, I go to Cinemark because it's literally down the road. It's a straight shot for me to get down to Cinemark. Otherwise, I have to go to a whole other fucking town to go to Regal. And Cinemark just has better deals, I think. So, all right. Maybe Black Adam will address the Eternal Celestial thing. I don't know why. So, Bell here says AMC seats very comfy. So are the Cinemark ones, though. The Cinemark ones are really comfy. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just like, I'm going to go to Lakewood. Like $5 a gallon? You're crazy, girl. You're absolutely crazy. What you doing? Anyway. Can MCU recover from its Phase 4 failures? Absolutely. Nothing in the Phase 4 has truly failed. Nothing has truly failed. I don't know what you're doing. You're just making shit up now. Music Manager says, I went to Regal once with friends. It was all right. Have you ever been to an Edwards? That's Regal. They own a whole bunch of chains, man. So you're that one there. Zap here asking, do you remember Rave Motions Pictures? I do not, actually. I do not. Oh, okay. You live in, okay. I see. It's in proximity to where you live. Okay. That's fine. I'm giving you shit anyway. All right. Sphere Commander says, well, Marvel movies certainly haven't. Better luck finding out in a DC movie. Yeah. Yeah. Rational asking, what is the best theater to receive an unnoticed blowjob in? Drive-in. And I'm not just saying that from like personal experience in regards to like working at a drive-in and knowing what I know. But I'm going to tell you, it's a lot easier to like, you know, look, there's more room and privacy in the front seat of a car to get head than there is if you're trying to do it in a movie theater. Those seats are very, very, very crammed together. They want to fit as many people in an auditorium as possible. You are literally like, there's very, very little room to move around. If you're there and it's like a crowded theater, like everyone's gonna know you're sucking dick. All right. Like everyone's gonna know you're sucking dick because guess what? There's quiet moments in theaters where people will adjust and you'll hear them. You might hear someone say something. If you're sucking dick and you hear, you know, if it's a wet blowjob or anything like that, you know, like it's just people are gonna fucking hear it. So yeah, no, you want to go to like a drive-in or something where it's your own vehicle. It's relatively soundproof. You know, you can park in the back. No one's going to care. It's going to be dark. No one's going to see. It's the best way to go about it. I think it's ridiculous to try to have sex in cinemas. It's like the whole Mile High Club nonsense. You know, it's the Mile High Club. You're like, I fucked in a fucking bathroom in an airplane at 30,000 feet. Jesus Christ. Okay. Like, that doesn't seem like fun to me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because I'm a rotund guy. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't look good. I don't think it would be that enjoyable. You know, I'm not that bendy, to be perfectly honest with you. So I don't know. And Nate here says, I'm listening with my mom. Awkward. Hi, Mom. Hi. I should probably explain because Nate, I think you're new here. This show is called Hollywood After Dark. The branding of the show, if you notice, has a very specific kind of look to it. If you look at this here, it might remind you of a specific website. Starts with a P, ends with a hub. Has a lot of corn stars, a lot of corn, a lot of corn starch being thrown around too. So this is very much a late night, 18 plus, mature. Well, actually, nothing about this is mature, but adult themed late night show where I say whatever comes to my mind and have a lot of fun in the process. So anyway, you know what? I feel bad you're there with your mom. Well, lead here for two. Thanks, buddy. Says watch people act confused when Black Adam barely breaks 500 million. I don't know, man. Again, it could happen. It's look, if it doesn't crack that, if it doesn't do well, people are going to very much attack it. That's just the reality of it. So, anyway, let's see here. Michelle says the problem with The Rock as the actor is that between G.I. Joe, The Fast and Furious, and Scorpion King and Jungle Cruise, he always plays the same kind of character. Don't forget about Rampage and Journey to the Center of the Earth and Jumanji. I mean, yeah, he does. He plays the same character. And Michelle, you're not wrong about that too. A lot of people have criticized the fact that it does seem like The Rock is very much just going through the motions. And I can't help but ponder the question. Is it by design? Is it by design that he's doing this? Is it just like he's been so insulated from literally anybody? Like anyone. Cause like I remember back in the day, I heard that like he was taking acting classes in order to like learn how to be a better actor. And he's regressed to just like playing himself in every role. And I know that that's what a lot of, movie stars do and whatever, right? They want to do that. They'll just play themselves, but acting is a gig where you lose yourself in something. And if you're just playing yourself, then it's like the whole Adam Sandler thing with, every movie he does goes to an exotic location because he gets to go spend 3 months on vacation with his friends. And it costs somebody else a lot of money. So something like there to contemplate. Maybe he needs somebody. Bell here says he plays The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. It's true. Michelle says, even with the Black Adam, it's the same character. I mean, I'm hoping that there's a bit more depth there. I just don't think we're going to get it. I know there's a thing there with his son. Like, I was bored out of rage because the son, died to like save him or whatever. So I'm hoping there's like an emotional beat there. I'm really hoping they're able to nail it. But so far, like no one's talked about that. It's just like, no one's talked about that yet. Maybe it could happen. I do not know. Ralph's Double Tits here says, and Jarbo will be celebrating when it doesn't do well, probably have a party and pop champagne like a certain rage pig, maybe host a bowling event. Of course not, dude. Of course not. Why would I do that? Why? I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to feel bad. I want Henry Cavill to come back, dude. I want Henry Cavill to come back. Bell here says Adam Sandler is annoying as fuck. You know what though? I have a soft spot for Sandler. Tales from the Hood TV says The Rock is the true last action. I'm not even going to qualify that with a response, dude. What are you even babbling about? That doesn't make any sense. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Denzel Washington plays the same character in Deja Vu, Man on Fire, and Out of Time. And your point? Also, don't forget The Equalizer 1 and 2, and soon to be Equalizer 3, coming out in 2023. Again, but he has done other roles as well. He's also earned it too by doing a bunch of different roles. The Rock hasn't. He's been himself for a long time. Will Man of Steel 2 make more money than Man of Steel? That is a very interesting question. I have no idea. Man of Steel did 668, I think. I don't know if Henry has amassed that much of a fan base to get more, but we'll find out. We'll absolutely find out. I'm very much curious to see how it's going to go. Bell here says, is it true they're using the 1970s soup theme for Henry Cavill cameo in BA? I'll tell you this. I don't know for certain. What I mean by that is I've seen the clip, but people were cheering. So if there was music, I didn't hear it. And I can't confirm or deny. I'll know more in 2 days, but I don't know now. Do I think Man of Steel will ever get its own trilogy? No, I do not, unfortunately. I think they're just going to want to have them be team-up movies. I really do. I really, really, really do. I think they're just going to do that here. Michelle here says, I never enjoyed Adam Sandler comedy. Man, I did. But then again, like, I'm a kid of the 80s and 90s. I'm 40. So it's like, for me, it's a little bit different. You know, I grew up watching Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Water Boy, Bulletproof, you know, watching the opera singer on fucking SNL and all the other bits and everything else, listening to They're All Gonna Laugh at You, you know, like just really enjoying all that stuff. Command Unit here for $2, man. Thank you. Says, I only know The Rock from Corey in the House. Oh, man. Corey in the House. Jesus Christ. Is he? I don't even know if he was in that or not. I don't watch any of that stuff. JP here says that Adam Sandler is great in Punch Drunk Love. There's also Uncut Gems. There's also Reign Over Me, which is a drama about surviving tragedy. Adam Sandler can actually really, really act. Yes, he does the dumb shit, but he'll also do the good acting. The difference between Adam Sandler and The Rock is Adam Sandler will at least try to expand his craft a little bit. The Rock is just like, oh, they want me to be in a movie? All right. You know, he's just, how much you want to bet? Like, he walks into meetings and he's just like, you know, he'll be like, I see what's happening. Yeah. You're face to face with greatness and it's strange. You don't even know how to feel. It's adorable. It's nice to know that humans never change. He probably does that. He probably walks in singing You're Welcome from Moana. I mean, I often find myself singing You're Welcome from Moana because I enjoyed that movie immensely and I really like him in the role. I will say the Moana was probably his best role. Really, if you think about it, because it is him, but it's also, there was, you know, actual direction. He had to emote with his voice and he couldn't just rely on the same shit. So Matt is a Disney simp. I have children. That's what happens. Bell here says it's a direct sequel to Man of Steel, which means it's part 2. Well, they don't know yet. They don't know that. Right. They don't know. They said that they want him back. They said that they have a producer looking at potential directors and writers. It's still years away if that's what we're going to get. But I do think Christopher McQuarrie is who they're looking at. So how does Shazam take a dump? Or how does Black Adam take a dump? Does he have power down like Shazam does? I think so. I think he actually says Shazam, and I think that's how they depower him, right? There's no Shazam in the movie, but they say Shazam. So I don't know. Bell here says we don't need Man of Steel 2. We need ZS 5 arc. You know what? Here's the thing with that, right? Here's the thing with that though, Bell. I agree with you about the Zack Snyder arc, but I don't think it's realistically going to happen. I just don't. And if, I would rather get Superman than get nothing, to be honest with you. So there's that. Okay. What we've got is, because it is 11 o'clock and I got kids to take to school in the morning, as you guys know. So we're going to lower it down a little bit. But at this point, I would like to talk about, we have a special little sponsored section of the show tonight. Benson, who is here all the time, has graciously sponsored a bit of the show to watch a video talking about Steven Seagal. So we're going to watch this Steven Seagal movie today, or movie Today You Die is so bad. It's a crime against humanity. Worst movie ever. We're going to take a look at this video essay. I don't know anything about this movie. All I know is that Seagal movies recently have been fucking terrible. And that sucks because I like bad movies, and I want to enjoy these. Matt's OnlyFans. No. That's patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. That's my OnlyFans, which, by the way, I actually updated today with some new stuff there. So there's that. Did I see your cat shiny? No. Did you send me pictures on Twitter? I don't know, man. So all right. Thank you, Benson, for your support. I appreciate that, for sponsoring this portion of the stream. So let's give this thing a go. I don't know what's going to happen. Should be interesting.
Today You Die is the Steven Seagal movie where he finally showed the world what his fans had known all along.
That's what I was hoping.
He's a terrible human being with zero talent.
You found me out, did you?
The movie starts off with some stupid tarot card shit that makes you wonder if it's even the right movie. Unfortunately, it is. Not only does nothing happen, but even if it did, it's all just a fucking dream anyway.
I had an awful...
Dreams are symbolic.
What?
That's right.
What?
This is one of those Seagal movies where he can't be bothered to voice his own lines. I have to give the voiceover props, though. He really nails the inherent mumbling.
Later on, maybe you tell me what you saw.
Seagal then what all normal people do at 1 a.m. and quizzes his girlfriend on the dumbest shit possible.
Hey, where'd you get this painting?
Saw it in a dream.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have
What?
ever heard. While you know Seagal's pissed that she's wasting his money on this nonsense, he also doesn't want to get stabbed in his sleep by this complete fucking psycho.
I thought you like it too.
You're right about that, I like it.
Suddenly, Seagal goes full ninja and breaks into this apartment. Not only is this definitely Seagal, but it's also completely believable that all of his weight can be supported by this tiny little window. So now he's inside and is for some reason wearing a completely different outfit. Then, in a crazy coincidence, the bus driver from Speed was also planning on robbing the place at the exact same time.
Thanks for doing the heavy lifting.
So Seagal kills him. As he's leaving, he decides he hasn't insulted the audience enough and has a fight scene that's 99% body double and only a split second of Seagal used over and over.
Oh my
We
God.
never find out who any of these people are, which is okay because we also don't give a shit. Seagal and his irritating girlfriend
You gotta change your life, Harlan.
then pack up and move to Las Vegas. When they get there, they drive by this children's hospital that has a going out of business sign like it's a fucking Toys R Us. So anyways, Seagal meets Max, who's heard of Seagal's legendary driving.
I hear you're a great driver.
The movie never explains where he heard that or what the hell this crazy old man is even talking about.
What are you staring at?
Seagal tries to go legit and now drives an armored truck. While they normally wear uniforms, Seagal ain't about that life and wears whatever the fuck he wants.
Look, it's a legitimate job.
Which isn't true, and this old man shoots security and makes Seagal the getaway driver.
Come on, drive!
But why? You already had all the money in the truck and could have just driven away. Nobody would have known anything. There was no reason to shoot the security guards. What the fuck is wrong with you? Thanks to that, they're in a high-speed pursuit across Las Vegas.
What are those cars?
Seagal just starts murdering everyone.
Look at those cop
Seagal
cars, though. These
manages
are like
to
old
lose
school as
everyone,
fuck.
hide the money, and call his girlfriend
Is this set up?
before taking a nap right in front of the police. Strong work, guys. Max is pretty pissed off about the whole thing,
Find him!
but that was the dumbest plan I have ever seen.
Everything is under control.
Night, Bell. Have
What
a good
did
one.
he
Drive
think
safe out
was
there.
going to happen? So, Seagal's in custody and being questioned by the DEA?
When he's part of a drug deal that went south.
How the fuck could anyone think an armored truck heist from a casino is part of a drug deal gone south? That is so stupid, but whatever. Seagal is convicted and thrown in a prison where, again, he gets to wear whatever the fuck he wants. People are also stabbed to death daily, and nobody gives a shit. Mean words, however, will not be tolerated. Seagal warns a gang leader that a rival gang is planning a hit on him, so they become besties.
This is a cool motherfucker.
No, he's not. They then make the dumbest prison break in movie history.
John Mama on Pico Pimpin'? Knees oozing on the Sunset Stripper? What? Gonna jump a cattle battle? What? I said good night.
I have no idea why they did any of that, but since he and the guard look identical, he steals his uniform while the other inmates cause a distraction by having a food fight. They then make a quick stop at the prison tailor, and the guard's short sleeve shirt is now a long sleeve shirt, and then walk in front of the world's worst green screen. A stolen police helicopter then flies them to freedom.
Oh my god.
Since the DEA handles literally everything now, they decide the agent is to blame for the prison break.
Agent knows you failed.
Yeah, it happens.
No, it doesn't. So we get some more painful dialogue.
This is my partner right here.
Walks like a black man, breathes like a killer.
I have no idea what that means.
You know that's right.
Anyways, this is when the movie realizes, oh shit, the plot's pretty much wrapped up, but we're only 45 minutes into it, so f it. Now it's a revenge movie.
Oh, how much?
Even though everyone that betrayed Seagal is either dead
Max is dead.
or in prison, this entire movie is a money laundering scheme anyways, so fucking deal with it. The first bad guy he pulls out of his ass is this guy.
He walks kind of funny. You think he did some prison time?
Maybe he might be out there doing a little homo promo.
You two literally just got out of prison yesterday. So Seagal goes to get information out of him and ends up beating, shooting, and blowing him up.
Lord have mercy.
I understand
Yo,
Seagal's been in
I wanna
prison
watch
and
this
is a
movie.
bit rusty, but for some constructive criticism, maybe next
They
time
blew
you
up a
try and get
Jag?
information, you could actually ask them something.
Take
They-
this 6-inch gun. I'm gonna blow your 2-inch dick off.
But whatever, they have bigger problems because the sun just went out.
Lord have mercy.
And now it's back.
Yeah, there's
That
no
was a
way they
close
blew up a
one.
Jag.
So Seagal changes his clothes while driving, and they do a stakeout here for some reason when this Asian gang shows up. I don't know if that's offensive, but it's very distracting since they're all in their 40s and 50s.
Southside.
The movie then devolves into complete absurdity.
Did you change his diaper? You gotta change the fucking diaper. I'm not there.
That still makes more sense than the idea that Seagal could ever do this. Now the movie takes quite a racist turn,
White bitches, piece of shit.
What the fuck you gonna do about it, you yellow bitch?
and both of these gangs kill each other. The movie never explains who any of these people are or what the point of any of this was. Seagal and the movie are now on two completely different pages. I have no idea who this guy is, but Seagal calls and threatens him.
I'm coming for you.
Before showing up at his house and beating the shit out of Randy Couture.
Girl Scouts of America?
I promise I am not making any of this up. He then beats up whoever these guys are with a combination of a much thinner body double, doing things Seagal never could, and stock footage of him where he's wearing different clothes and is in a completely different place.
No, that
Seagal
can't
makes
be
a deal
accurate.
with whoever this is that he'll give him the money if they'll finally leave him alone.
I'll give you the money if you promise me. After y'all get the money, this is it. It's over.
I should point out that at no point in the movie has anyone been after Seagal. So, whatever, he knocks out Randy Couture again as he leaves. Now Seagal and What's-His-Face set up a bunch of C4 and Claymores. I'm not a demolition expert, but I don't think you're supposed to set them all up right next to each other. So Seagal just walks into somewhere where Max is alive and playing the piano.
How have they not kidnapped his girl yet?
Again,
That's my question.
The movie never explains how the fuck Seagal knows where this is, but I stopped caring a long time ago. Seagal kills guys for some reasons. Max leaves in a helicopter, and Seagal blows it up. The movie should be over now, but for some reason it just won't end. Seagal meets up with these guys who he just beat up a few minutes ago, and I'm still not clear on who the fuck they are. As stupid as this may seem, Seagal's just getting started.
Once I give you guys the money, you're gonna leave me alone.
Nice story.
What the fuck are you talking about, lady? Nobody told any stories.
What are you doing here?
And where the fuck does this guy come from?
Put down the gun.
He just appears out of nowhere.
You know what really gets my goat? The expression war on drugs. Do you have any idea what I make? Aspirin.
What the hell is he rambling about?
Oh
So
my
the
God.
movie continues its downward spiral into complete nonsense. And even though they're on the ground level, Seagal somehow throws him out of the 5th floor. And it's clearly a completely different person. So now Seagal's prison husband gets outsmarted by this guy and his diabolical plan of saying whoa, whoa, whoa. Luckily, he only has one bullet.
Oh, you ran out of gas?
Really? Ran out of gas?
Today you die, motherfucker!
Is that why they named the movie this? Because of this stupid fucking scene?
Oh, hell no!
Whatever. Seagal realizes if you add in the epilogue and credits, we're good for 90 minutes, so let's just wrap this shit up. He does have one last insult for the audience, though. This absurd green screen, which makes them all appear to be about 50 to 60 feet tall. He then blows up the entire building, which he should have just done in the first place. They end up donating most of the money to that stupid children's hospital. And in a mind-blowing twist, we see Hit Girl and find out this entire movie is a prequel to Kick-Ass. Holy sh**.
Oh, wow, man. Holy fucking shit. That is outstanding. That movie is definitely old. Today, what's it called? Today? Today You Die. I have to look this up here. That's not. God damn it. I'm like, it's got to be older Seagal because like it's a 2005 movie. Seagal, that's Treach as Ice Cool. Okay. Then you've got Sarah G. Buxton was the agent. Chloe Grace Moretz. Holy shit. Mari Morrow was the girlfriend. She looks really familiar. Whatever. She's 54 years old now. What has she been in though? Let's see here. All right. She was on One Life to Live. She was Wanisha on Family Matters. Wanisha on who the name sounds familiar. She was Wanisha Savoy on Family Matters. Man, that's crazy. That's fucking. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. I love movies like that, by the way, guys. I do because it's so bad. It's like you watch something like that. Like that movie came out when I first started film school. And that's the kind of crap that like, you know, you have to just kind of sit back and go, yeah, that was pretty terrible, man. That was pretty bad. That was pretty terrible. You gotta love it. You gotta love it because look, when you watch shit like this, it makes you really, really kind of just like go, okay, cool. Like this is so bad that somebody financed this and then they continuously finance it. The IMDb page has it at a 4.1 out of 10. And, you know, who directed this? Don E. Fauntleroy. I'm not kidding. Fauntleroy. He is accepted into, hold on. He was a director of photography. He is in the American Society of Cinematographers. What has he directed? He was a cinematographer on Jeepers Creepers. He was camera and electrical on The Goonies. He was camera and electrical on Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He was a cinematographer on North and South. You know, like, what the fuck, dude? All right, what has he directed? He directed Today You Die was his third feature. He did the movie Mercenary for Justice. I've heard of this one. Another Seagal movie, Mercenary for Justice. A mercenary gets involved in a mission that threatens the lives of his kin. In order to succeed, he must break into one of the most well-guarded prisons in Eastern Europe and free the son of the most notorious drug lord in the world today. Holy shit. So he's done a few. He's done, let's see. Oh, he did Anaconda 3. And he also did Anaconda Trail of Blood, which starred David Hasselhoff and I believe was done for Sci-Fi 2008. David Hasselhoff in doing a fucking Anaconda movie. Jesus Christ, you guys. And then Urban Justice is another Seagal movie that is described as when a dedicated police officer is murdered, his father goes on a hunt for the people responsible. And it's got Steven Seagal and Eddie fucking Griffin. Oh my God. Oh jeez. Danny Trejo is in it too. Wow, man. That's oh my God. You gotta love it, you guys. You gotta absolutely get a kick out of it because there are more bad movies that have been made than good ones. Let's be fair. All right, there's more bad movies that have been made. Well, I should say maybe less than stellar films, so to speak, right? Less than stellar films. But I will say that, you know, when you look at a movie like like that. You know what I mean? When you look at a movie like the one we did, it just, you have to like laugh your ass off at it because it's out there and we can watch this. Like, I kind of want to go and like try to find this shit on fucking, I kind of want to go find this goddamn thing and see if it's out there. I don't know. All right. I'm getting tired, obviously. Remember his Blade ripoff? No, I didn't know he did a Blade ripoff. We should do that one night. We'll do a Steven Seagal trailer park. I really want to start doing more with theme nights. I think theme nights are the best times we have here, you know. But yeah, that's some crazy shit right there. But all right, guys, on that note, it is time for me to go to bed because, of course, I got to take the kids to school in the morning. If you're looking for more content and you want to get my thoughts and my opinions on Halloween, Halloween Kills, or Halloween Ends, head over to youtube.com/Podio commentary, and we can definitely have a conversation about that over there. Thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. We'll see you about tomorrow. I'll be on. Maybe we'll do something small and quick and fun. No drama. Hopefully no fucking DC, man. Not that I'm over DC, but goddamn, we talk about it enough. Where's my Star Wars? Give me my Star Wars. All right, everybody. Have yourself a great night. Peace the fuck out.